What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show, the podcast, and welcome back to MLB The Show, Ian Kinsler. That's right, he's back in the game. We'll get there. Don't worry. Hold your horses. But welcome back to the show, the podcast. I appreciate you guys stopping by for yet another week. The fact that you always come back puts a smile on my face. We're at the point in the news cycle where I don't know what we've talked about and what is still to talk about, which is a very exciting point in the game's cycle, pre-cycle, I guess you'd call it, to be in, because there's so much going on, which is great. I think SDS currently is crushing all the promotional materials and the way they're handled. God, the last feature premiere should win awards. I mean, we'll talk about it, don't worry. Just a phenomenal job across the board so far by SDS. And so I'm here to talk about last week's feature premiere. And guys, we're getting another feature premiere today, the day you're listening to this. 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2 p.m. Pacific, all the times in between, depending on where you live. I don't know why it went from Thursday to Tuesday. I'm not complaining, and boy, is it going to be a huge, huge, huge feature premiere. We're going to talk about it in just a second. If you are new here, thank you all for being here. My name is Kenny, kdjTV. If it's your first time here, please subscribe to the channel. This will be your go-to source for all things MLB The Show 23 as we enter the new game cycle and the new game once it drops. Player opinions, card reviews, reactions, news, pretty bad opinions most of the time, player comparisons. Literally, we run the gamut here. This is a news source for you for MLB The Show 23. So please subscribe, like it, definitely like this video, that's important. But most importantly, they are about to do a massive feature premiere on gameplay. Tell me the one thing, above all else, gameplay-wise, you want fixed next year. Or in a couple months, I guess. Next year, because it's the next year's title. All right, enough speaking over myself, because I'm a literal idiot here. So I'm going to hit this button, bingo bango, and now you can see my desktop. That's the magic of a Stream Deck. New this week! So, on Monday, February 13th, they revealed Ian Kinsler. We'll talk about him momentarily. On Tuesday, the day you're listening to this, happy Valentine's Day to all who observe. If you do not have a Valentine currently, don't worry, you'll get there. If you don't want to ever have a Valentine, it's your prerogative. But we will be getting a feature premiere at 2 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Eastern today on gameplay. And then on Wednesday, the tech test goes live. So my thinking here and why they're doing it this way is so something big has to be different with gameplay. If they're dropping, A, the feature premiere for gameplay this early, that never happens, and B, if they're dropping it the day before the tech test. That means they're explaining something. I don't know what that something is. I don't speak to the developers like some other content creators do. All I know is that, logically, they would not be dropping a gameplay explainer before the tech test unless something was big or different or fixed. Do with that information what you will. Here we go. Welcome back to the show, Ian Kinsler. He was a Ranger. He was a Tiger. He was a Padre. He played on the Angels. He played on the Red Sox for a hot fucking couple games. I pulled up Ian Kinsler's baseball reference page, as you are staring at. I pulled it up for a handful of reasons. One, I was curious if he was ever a captain of a team. Because if he was ever a captain of a team, that would fit with our Captain's Edition theme. To my knowledge and to my research, I don't think he ever was. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if I looked in the wrong spot. Not a fan of any of the aforementioned listed teams here. But I think he overlapped on the Rangers with Beltre, maybe? So Beltre was the captain. The Tigers have had Miggy. I don't know. Just a thought. Just please correct me if I'm wrong here. Either way, Kinsler's back. Pretty cool. Adds depth to second base, which is a position that always needs depth. And then you look at his career numbers. They don't jump off the page. Ian Kinsler was the epitome of like a 5 to 6 year peak, where he was one of the top second basemen in the game. He made 4 All-Star teams. 4 All-Star teams? Yep. He won 2 Gold Gloves, MVP voting a handful of times. At his best, he was a 30-homer, 30-steal guy. That's hard to do. He only did it twice. He had some health problems in his career here and there. Not ever, like, massive health problems, but some ticky-tack things. Kind of just stockpiled, added up. I think Ian Kinsler is the type of guy who His best cards will probably be like early game, low 90s cards. They will, of course, find a way to give him a juiced retro finest, or they'll give him a signature. They'll give him something. He will get a 99, and it will be pretty good. But he does not scream like all-time best card in the game. Either way, these are the type of legends I think SDS should focus on. I've always been adamant in that. Early to mid 2000s, 2010s legends, the guys that a lot of the player base grew up with. Again, there are younger players, certainly, so they did not grow up with these people, but you know what I mean. I've gotten a lot of great comments from a lot of people who agree with that early 2000s, late 90s type of time period, but also people who are like, hey, we need the old people. We got to educate the youths, as Schmidt would say from New Girls, youths, on the old players. And I agree, and I think there's still time for that. We still have 15 or so new legends, 12 or 15 or so new legends to talk about at some point, so we'll get there, don't worry. But Ian Kinsler's back, that's super cool. His 5-year peak from 2008 to 2012, he compiled 109 homers, 351 RBI, he hit 271 to 350 on base, he swiped 123 bags, so on average, that is 22 dingers, 25 steals, and a not bad batting average. So, Ian Kinsler, welcome back. I'm happy. I'm happy he's back. He's a fun player. Did that. Bingo Bango, gameplay feature premiere. Things I expect to see in the gameplay feature premiere. God, they better talk about hitting. You don't do an entire gameplay feature premiere this early before a tech test if hitting was not fixed. I am hoping for a little transparency as far as not just stats. They give us stats every year, and we all choose to believe them or not. Don't be a conspiracy theorist, first of all. Second of all, sometimes I'm a conspiracy theorist and I don't believe those stats. But I'm hoping some transparency, some honesty. They're not going to outright walk back the working as intended, the community is complaining for no reason comments. But I think there could be some like, hey, we spent last year working on this year. We understand there was some disapproval amongst the player base. We're trying our best to fix it. We think we've fixed it. Here's why. That's what I'm looking for out of Ramon and the two other guys who are going to be on the stream. I forgot who their names were. But I mean, look at the comment section here. Gameplay. Let's go. Gameplay. Oh, not on YouTube. Oh, S-word. A gameplay premiere. Huge, answering big questions up front. Fingers crossed. Everyone's excited. Everyone's excited. You don't do a gameplay premiere this early unless you have something to announce, because you're trying to drum up people who lost interest because the gameplay was so poor. Other things to look at. Pinpoint pitching improvements, because pinpoint is still a problem. Maybe a discussion about the meta. I don't know if their goal is to change the meta, but it's been a similar meta for like the last 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer. So maybe a meta change. That is less important to me, but would also be very much welcome if they did that. Base running updates are always appreciated, because base running does not make any literal sense in this game. Fielding, I think, has largely gotten better. The super dive needs to be fine-tuned still. The pitcher wall needs to be fixed. And, like, first base defense is still irrelevant, but, like, I can live with those things. Like, I don't want to, but I can. Let's fix the hitting. That's the most important thing. Secondarily, let's go back to pitching, fix the pitching, and then let's look at fielding. Base running kind of mixed in there in between, because base running I don't think requires a ton of work. Just some like logic things. But that I cannot wait for this gameplay premiere. Make sure, again, if you guys, I'm going to plug it again, I'm sorry. Make sure you subscribe, because on Tuesday night, after the feature premiere, I will be doing a YouTube video on my reactions. It will not be as long as a podcast. It'll probably be like a 7 to 10 minute video, depending on how much information they give us. But my goal is to have a video up Tuesday night, not reacting, like live reacting, like they do. Guy reacts to longest Pokemon run ever. Not doing that, but just like a summarization, a summation of the feature premiere. So subscribe and you'll find it. Next, Storylines mode. We learned a lot more about Storylines mode, and I'm glad we did. Storylines mode looks like an absolute banger. 100% home run. I could not be more excited to play this mode. I know this mode is not meant to be competitive. I know this mode is much less about playing than it is about learning. But just based off the A+ is almost an insult to how good this feature premiere was last week. This feature premiere was amazing. It dived so deep into Negro League history, the baseball museum. Bob Kendrick is a superhero in human being clothing. He's incredible. Storylines, I think is going to work. I hate always saying this, but I think it's going to be a home run. The way that they've, and we'll see some video momentarily, but the way that it seems they've been able to just intercut and connect video, photo, audio, interviews, graphics, art, animation, gameplay, the way that they have introduced moments, the moments mode or task into storylines is the way moments always should have been done. They have finally mastered the way moments should be done. Now, moments will still exist in every other place in this game and be horrible and terrible, but moments in storylines are the way moments should be done. I was blown away at the depth and the breadth of detail they went into about just the history. This feature premiere was almost secondarily about the storylines mode and primarily about what it represents. The passion in Bob Kendrick and the passion in Ramon. Ramon was literally brought to tears. And it was genuine. That was not fake. Shout out to Ramon. You're the GOAT. But it looks like it's going to be absolutely incredible. I can't wait to learn about these legends, these heroes, these trailblazers. I can't wait to play with them. Hopefully they're compatible in Diamond Dynasty. I think that's the only way in which storylines loses some of its luster. It's still going to be impactful, and it's still going to be great. It's in the game. But if I can't use these legends on my Diamond Dynasty team, I'm going to be upset. That's just the way it is. I don't see how you would orchestrate all of this and then not make them playable. I think that defeats the purpose, but they have yet to expressly say you can then use them in Diamond Dynasty. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just being paranoid because sometimes SDS makes silly decisions. But let's just make it clear. As far as I know, they have yet to say you can use all of these really, really cool players in Diamond Dynasty. So I hope that's not the case. I hope you can. All right, so shout out to our boy Scan, friend of the channel. I am now going to, with no volume, just play a minute 40 snippet here of storylines. Of course, and the volume immediately starts. Turn off the volume, thank you. So watch what they're doing here. Video, animation, graphics, quick hitting, interviews with this legend of a human being. Old footage. It looks so immersive. It looks so good. And the person who's writing it is an Emmy-winning storyteller. Like, guys, I think they knocked this concept out of the park, and it's a 5-year deal. We're getting 5 years of this. Yes, education is so important, and we're going to get a ton of education out of this. And so are all those young players we talked about learning about all the old-timers. But I'm just excited for something different and something fresh. This is a concept. Someone on my video I did reacting to this mentioned something about how in the WWE video games they have something relatively similar. I don't play those type of games, so this is going to be new to me. This looks so innovative as far as marrying education with sports gaming. I'm in. This looks super cool. And then we're getting to the end here, and then it just, you learn all this narrative, and then it's like, oh, by the way, his first game he had a hit and an RBI. Now go do it in a moment. It stops the story, it breaks it up, it gives you the chance to put yourself in the moment. That's the point of moments. And then it goes right back into the storytelling. I mean, I'm just so excited. I'm excited for stuff that's new, but is also smart, and that makes sense. Boom, go tally a hit and an RBI in a moment. Right in the middle of the storytelling. And so Scan continued here, showed us what the gameplay is going to look like. This was captured on next gen. It's not final. But man, I mean, I can even make this a little bigger. Look how crispy that looks. That looks so good. Yes, it's offline. Yes, there's not a lot going on in the background of the stadium. I get it. 6 new stadiums, by the way. 6 new Negro League stadiums coming into the game. Super cool. But God, it just looks so good. It looks so good. And we'll continue it here with another one. Also, guys, look here on the lower left. There's a new hitting feedback window. Of course, that's the one he gets the hit on. But look at this. The hitting feedback looks great. I thought it was funny that, of course, they do a jam shot, almost caught line drive single for his first one. But, hey, it's fine. Uniforms look great. Umpires look great. The moments menu looks great. I am all in. All in. Chips on the table for storylines. So excited. 6 new stadiums. We'll take a quick peek at these. We have Muhlenbach Field, where the Monarchs played. We have Hilldale Park, where some other team played. God, right field is 8,000 feet away. Southside Park, south side of Chicago. Then Comiskey, also south side of Chicago. I guess they put both of them in there. I just realized that. Forbes Field, that's not entirely new, but that's cool. And then Busch Stadium, which is super neat. Not Cardinals Busch Stadium, different Busch Stadium. So, guys, I don't know, honestly, what else we could want from a feature premiere, from upcoming feature premieres, from content they have done such a great job after being dormant on social media for months and dormant on 22 content for months. They have exploded out of the gate with the MLB The Show 23 news cycle. I am super stoked, if you guys can't tell. For people who are new here, and if you've made it to the end of this video, I appreciate you. But if this is your first time listening to me, I am not, by any means, a shill for SDS. In the comments, long-timers, let them know. I crap all over this game constantly. I call it as I see it. If something don't make sense, I'll say it doesn't make sense. If something is super cool, but they missed it here, I will critique it. I will be like, yeah, this is cool, but we could have done this better. I am fair, I think. I try my best to be as fair as humanly possible when giving my opinions on this game, because that's not fair if you're not fair. That doesn't make any sense, but you know what I'm trying to say. I am not just a shill. I don't get an SDS care package with Coach Dolls and MLB The Show. I'd like one, but I don't care. I don't do it for that. Just give my opinions on a game that I truly care about and a sport that I truly care about. So if you're a first-time listener, I'm not just pumping it up so all you guys can buy it. I don't care. I'm just telling you, this is exciting stuff. This is really exciting stuff. The tech test, everybody, goes live Wednesday. You don't have to sign up. You just go download it. Play it. You don't have to play it a ton, but play it enough so that you can get enough information for yourself to give SDS feedback. The point of the tech test is to get the feedback and fix anything in the last 4 to 5 weeks that they have the ability to fix. They're not going to be able to fix everything, but play the tech test enough and fairly enough so that you can give an honest opinion. Don't use the link to just crap all over the people who've worked hard on this game. I truly think they have worked hard on this, very hard on this game, after the disaster that was 22. But give honest, real feedback, critique in a respectful way. That's how we make change, right? And if people just hate on the tech test and don't give their feedback officially, no changes will be made. We have to give the feedback. It has to be given. So play the tech test, follow whatever link they provide or whatever prompt they give to give feedback. I certainly will be doing so. And let's all get hyped. Let's all get hyped for 23. Man, we might have another legend reveal in the gameplay trailer tomorrow. I just realized that. Or gameplay premiere. I don't think we will, but we could. You don't know. You don't know. There will be a Legends trailer at some point. We haven't gotten that yet. I can't even wrap my head around all the stuff that's to come. Guys, that is going to do it for this episode. Whew, I feel like we just talked a lot real fast. Your boy's lightheaded. Your boy's dizzy. Tuesday night on my YouTube channel, kdjTV. I don't quite know what time it'll upload. Probably as soon as humanly possible, because I did kind of want to stream tomorrow night. I've been playing the crap out of Hogwarts Legacy. And let me tell you, that game is fun. So if you want to watch me stream that Tuesday night, twitch.tv/kdjTV, hopefully around 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll go Expelliarmus some folks and, Wingardium Leviosa, all those type of cool spells. And we'll have a ball. Come chat, come hang out. We'll go from there. All right. If not, I will see you guys next week. I love you all. Enjoy the gameplay premiere. Peace.